Good evening. It is actually, if I'm being honest, just changed to July 26th. So it's just after midnight here. Listen, I want to say a heartfelt thanks to everyone that's been watching and giving feedback. Really fun to just think about the Raptors for a bit before this, the meat of this off-season starts. We'll see if there's anything that can be done with these contracts or trades leading up to the draft. And we're going to discuss our first trade down scenario in this video with Orlando. Anyhow, let's get into some comments. So the first one is just, I was on another site and I was toting the whole Lowry stays thing, right? Because like, that's almost a troll on a lot of sites, and I'm not meaning it to troll, but it does get a lot of reaction from people because the popular thing obviously is that there'll be a sign and trade right now. And so it does get reaction. So here it got Raptors Champs 2099 reaction. He says, "You're out of your goddamn mind. Kyle wants out, not just not to New Orleans or LA." And I was like, well, fuck it. I'm all in. And I said, this will be embarrassing for you. Nice. It's over. And it made me think of that clip too. Cool. Which is a good little clip. So the next one is from H. Kashaf. And he's commented on a number of things, but the main thing that he keeps speaking about is just culture on teams as well. And that we have guys that want to play here and have championship DNA, and shipping out our vets is silly. And so he and I are going back and forth here. And then he goes, check out this link, YouTube video. And he says, this dude is saying the same kind of stuff as you, which, I mean, I don't hear it a lot. So this opinion. So Chev, total shout out. I'm now a disciple of Chev. I'm looking forward to checking out more of your videos. And I think all of you, if you're seeing this, definitely go over there. He's good. He knows his hoops, and he's fun to listen to. Good little pod for sure. Anyhow, let's get into the meat of this thing. But I'm going to ask you guys just right now, if you've been enjoying the content and you want to see other content from me, I'm not just going to be doing basketball. It'll be in the form of playlists, so you can just ignore other stuff. But there's a number of things that I'm a chef, so I'll be doing some chef chronicling and things like that. And I host parties and stuff like that. So I'll be combining a bunch of things that I like on here. One of them, definitely NBA, obviously Raptors centric. Anyway, cheers. Thanks for all your support and your comments. So let's get to it. So who are our friends in Florida? This is a little bit of a story, but I've tried to make it so that I can sit back and have my water here and tell you this story. So it all starts with a gentleman named Bob Weltman, and he's the GM in Orlando. So, but he didn't always work there, so he might look familiar because we got from Orlando a second round pick as compensation when he left. They sniped him in 2016-17, and he made a couple draft picks for us, Pascal Siakam and Jakob Poeltl. They were pretty important, and Jakob Poeltl eventually got packaged up with DeRozan and turned into a freaking Larry at a ring, motherfuckers. Yeah. So anyway, he was instrumental in Toronto, and that's why Orlando gave him the job. And so he goes to Orlando, and he immediately starts drafting. And so he's not a guy to miss much. So when he gets there, he starts drafting his own stuff, and he's had 4 drafts now. And he started with Jonathan Isaac as his first kind of effort. And then the next year he went for Mo Bomba, and then Chuma Okeke, Taylor Horton Tucker in the second round, and then Cole Anthony. That's a pretty good draft record. And I haven't even, like, these other guys, some of them, I feel like the names are familiar, but I don't really remember who they are. Anyway, he gets all of these assets on the team, and they're making the playoffs. They're doing very, very well. And he looks at his team this past year, same as our GM and VP, Masai and Bobby did, and they also decide to tank. They're like, screw it. So he doesn't do it in half measures. What he does is he ships out all of these guys, and he gets a godly return. So he gets lucky in the lotto, so he gets to pick 5th and 8th. And then he's got Hampton, Gary Harris, Wendell Carter Jr., and Markelle Fultz, and picks back as compensation for those 3 veterans that we saw. But the real stroke of genius is he kept the veteran he wanted to keep in order to groom all of these young players. He's building culture right out of the gate. He kept the guy he wanted to do. And this is no surprise to Raptors fans who know this guy. He kept Terrence Ross to show all these young guards how to accept their role, come off the bench, do their things. And look at his stable. Like, look at his stable in a few years of work, and I've replaced Horton Tucker with Wagner. So when we discuss trading down with Bob Weltman, the thing we can do is we can turn to our friend, who we know very well, and we've dealt with a few times, and we can say, hey, Bob, are you thinking about the same guys as we are? Yes or no? Let's work together here, and we'll try and protect your ass and you protect ours. And other GMs might be doing similar things. I don't know how much they're allowed to do in terms of like discussing what their actual picks or stuff are going to be, but I'm fairly certain they're discussing who they like. And this time of year, what you hear on the media is they're all being very coy about what they're going to do. So, the Raptors have suggested they might trade up. I think the point of this video, looking at the Magic, is that if the Magic have interest in Evan Mobley, then they're going to go up and get him. Not only that, they have such a unique stockpile of prospects that if Weltman really thought long and hard about it, he might even make a play for Cade Cunningham. And I know Detroit fans, that is shocking, and it probably won't happen. But like, it's totally true. Look at his assets. Like, don't forget about the picks. He has all of this, and he's about to pick 5th and 8th, and he's got tons of cap room. His cap looks amazing. Let me flash that back up for you. So 95 going into the season. And I think they project at 210. Is that right? Anyway, so if we're in an arms race with the Magic to get Mobley, they win. So we don't really need to do that. I don't know how much Masai would be a dick to Bob Weltman and try and drive up the price of the guy he wanted. But like, basically it becomes a race between the OKC Thunder and the Magic and anyone that wants to trade up for Mobley, because the reason I say that is I think we're out of the running for him. Do you understand? If he falls to us, it's one thing. But I think we're out of the running. The other thing I want to point out here is that it's very possible that the Magic are not interested in guards. And that's significant because Houston, for instance, are happy with a couple of their young guys from last year, for sure. But unlike Cleveland, who has great guards already drafted in the last 3 years with Kobe Altman drafting all 3 of them. Unlike Cleveland, Houston would love guards. Same with Detroit, right? Now, I know what you're thinking. Detroit's got Cade Cunningham. But what if they say to themselves, Green's pretty good. We've already got Killian Hayes last year. We're happy with him. We got a great young lineup in Detroit. And we could get Green or Suggs instead. What if they say something like that? Well, then Detroit could drop out, and the price for Cade would be through the roof, I imagine. You'd be looking at some stockpiling if you traded with Bob Weltman, that's for sure. And I wonder if Weltman would want Cade. Well, if he wants Mobley super bad, maybe he's wanting to go to the top. Same with Cleveland, who you know, maybe is sitting on Mobley, which is crazy. Like I have them down as Kuminga, but if a bunch of these teams are going to pass on guards, so Cleveland, Toronto, and Orlando. Toronto, if they keep Kalo, like I say, and Orlando could all pass on guards. So Houston could easily drop down to say Orlando take the 5th and the 8th pick and get 2 incredible prospects in their very first year of the rebuild. And maybe get Weltman to throw in a prospect. Like, you know, can they get some flyers on guys like Hampton or something? Like, who knows? Anyway, crazy draft. I think the point is the Raps aren't going to go up. You know what I mean? The price is too high for us to go up. So what are the trade down scenarios? I think the trade downs with Orlando only happen if it's like it was in Raptors history with the Vince Carter trade, where we would draft their guy and then they would draft our guy and then we just swap them. And that would be Weltman's way of saying, like, okay, I'm going to pay you something not to trade with OKC, Golden State, Sacramento, New Orleans, Charlotte, etc., and trade down, because the Raptors might be saying, like, hey, we're fine with the guy that's going to be 12th. Do you know what I mean? So it's a pretty rich draft, and we've got a good team already. We just need the right pieces. So Weltman might pay us to, you know, stay where we are, get his guy, and then switch with us. The way we get into a bit of a fight is if we're trying to go up to 3, like say Mobley falls to 3, then you might get something crazy going on. But otherwise, I think Weltman and Masai and Bobby kind of have each other's backs because of the relationship, and they can work to get, you know, the picks that they want at 4 and 5 without actually training beforehand. You'd swap afterwards, kind of like Doncic and Trae Young. Yeah, I think Bob Weltman's a guy that you could talk to about that. And I look forward to the draft. Cheers. It's all about the Larry, guys. Let's make it happen.
This is Chef's Kiss approved. Mwah!
I don't even know where you're sitting at.